Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to Headbangers Closet. Hope everyone's doing well today. This video is going to be a thread response to George's video. George over at George G's Room of Rock. He did a video that was kind of like a follow-up to a video we did a while back. 10 albums of scream heavy metal. This is 10 songs of scream heavy metal, and he kind of put it out to the VC as this. Like, let's say somebody wanted you to make them like a mixtape, or show them 10 songs that they've never heard heavy metal before. Show them 10 songs that would kind of like show them what heavy metal is. I took it as like, hey, what if there's some kid is like, hey man, I never heard heavy metal, make me a mixtape of the 10 songs that would just get me into metal. Or alien come down, right, and it's like, hey, we don't have heavy metal on our planet, like, show me 10 songs that would, let me know what heavy metal is all about. So I'm going to jump on that thread right now. I'm going to show my responses. I think I got 11. You guys know me, I can't follow the freaking rules. Dude, these are so hard. Like, choose just 10, right? Like, there's so many of them. I'll be thinking of a song or a band that I'll be like, oh, what about this one, or what about that one? And it just goes on and on. It's like a 30-minute freaking video. I don't want to do that. So let's get right to it. So first things first, AC/DC and Van Halen. Yes, they're hard rock. I kind of consider them in that heavy metal group. But for this, again, I'm taking it as somebody who's never heard heavy metal before. I'm going to try to get them into heavy metal. And I feel that these bands might not be on there, but they need to know who these bands are, because they're kind of like the building blocks. So I would choose my favorite AC/DC song, Whole Lotta Rosie. And of course, let me move this out of the way. Of course, they got to know Eddie Van Halen, right? Like, Eddie Van Halen inspired so many metal guitarists, most all of them on these bands that I'm going to show. But I would choose from 1984's, I would choose Panama to kind of start them off before I'm like, all right, before you get into heavy metal, check these bands out, check these songs out, Whole Lotta Rosie and Panama. And then I'll start with the heavy metal. Black Sabbath's War Pigs. I mean, a lot of these songs are iconic, and War Pigs is definitely one of them. I would start it off, want to start them off at a certain kind of level. Not going to throw them right into Creator and Slayer and Sepultura right away. Going to kind of start them off with Slayer's War Pigs. And then show them some new wave of British heavy metal. Photograph from Def Leppard. I could have chosen a couple of different Def Leppard songs. I think Let It Go was another one I was thinking of, but Photograph, another iconic tune, killer song. I'd show them that one and kind of let them know, hey, that's what is called the new wave of British heavy metal, and it kind of spawned this whole different era, going into like the 80s. Then, of course, you've got the big band of the Los Angeles Sunset Strip scene, Motley Crue. The song I would choose is Shout at the Devil. I think that's the heaviest song, really, that they've got, in my opinion. This album is the heaviest album. I would show them that song and listen to Shout at the Devil. And then, of course, the only artist that's in this list twice is Ozzy. It would be Ozzy, and I'd have to go with Crazy Train. There's a couple of different ones I could choose, but I'm trying to get them into heavy metal. I'm going to pick the most anthemic tunes I can find, just the brilliance of Randy Rhoads and that guitar solo and that riff with Ozzy's vocals. I have to include that. And then, of course, we've got the mighty Judas Priest. Again, going with the anthems. I would have to go Breaking the Law. Again, with this video and with this kind of challenge to show somebody who's never heard of heavy metal what heavy metal is all about. I'm not going to go with my favorite songs per se, but songs I feel is going to really, show them what heavy metal is and what heavy metal means. Not just the music, but the vibe as well. It'll be Breaking the Law from Judas Priest. The next we have is Iron Maiden. Again, so many to choose from. I know George did Number of the Beast. I'm going to go with the Trooper. I just think it's amazing. It's such a great tune, the killer riff, vocal, the galloping guitar riff, great vocals, great chorus to sing along with, and of course the solo is awesome. So I would choose the Trooper from Iron Maiden. And now we're kind of getting a little bit heavier. We kind of got their feet wet with the classic heavy metal stuff. Now we want to get a little bit heavier. And again, not my favorite band. But I think, again, go with kind of the anthem themes to kind of get them into heavy metal. Once you get them hooked, it's like heroin, right? Once you get them hooked, you know, they're done for life. That's probably mean to say. But you know what I'm talking about. Get them hooked and then kind of show them all the other types of heavy metal they can listen to. It would be Pantera's Cowboys from Hell. Awesome song, probably my favorite Pantera song. I would have to include that. And then, of course, I'm going to have to go with the Big Four. And this is kind of where I went one album over. But I'd have to go with the Big Four, and I would put Anthrax's, Anthrax's The Spreading the Disease album. Gonna go with Madhouse. I just really love the guitar riff. And again, I talked about it a second ago, kind of with that vibe. Madhouse just, to me, has that vibe of, you know, 80s thrash metal. It was fun. It was hard, heavy, and fast. Sometimes it didn't take itself too seriously. I really, really like that about this song. I like that about Anthrax in particular. But this song, Madhouse, I would include that. And then George showed this one as well. And yeah, it's the low-hanging fruit, right? It's Metallica's Master of Puppets. It's the low-hanging fruit. But again, gotta choose that metal anthem. And this song has everything. I mean, it's fast. It's heavy. You know, it's got the killer guitar riff. It's got awesome vocals, chorus you can sing along to. It's got the great slow melodic part in the middle, and then a great slow melodic solo from James, then a face-melting solo from Kirk. It's got everything I love about heavy metal, everything you guys love about heavy metal, all in one song. So not my favorite Metallica song by a long shot, but it's the one I would choose for this particular assignment, if you will. And then, you know, the last two are going to get a little bit heavier, a little bit more technical on this one. Maybe not so much technical, but I'm going to choose Megadeth's Peace Sells, But Who's Buying? Because I just think the lyrics would kind of fit the challenge at hand. Show the new listener, let them hear, you know, you kind of sing along to it. It's kind of got, the lyrics are pretty cool, you know, what do you mean I couldn't be the president of the United States of America, you know, stuff like that. It's just kind of cool lyrics to kind of listen and bang your head to. It's got the cool riff, it's got the solo, it's just kind of got everything I would want to show somebody who's never heard of heavy metal before. Could have, like some of these other bands, I could have chosen a lot of different Megadeth songs, but it's going to be Peace Sells. Man, like just kind of looking at the songs, like, oh, I should have chose that one, should have chose this one. And last but certainly not least, you got to include Slayer, and I'm going to go with Angel of Death. I think that one, you know, you got to go with the Rain and Blood album. Not my favorite Slayer record. I think there are other songs that are really cool, but if you really want to show them heavy metal, thrash metal, you got to include a song off this album. The Big Four stuff's all going to be fast, but I would do Angel of Death. I think the riff's great. Just kind of, you just let him hear Tom Araya, just the way he like screamed in the, you know, the beginning of the song, and then just does the vocals. The solos, you know, we all know Kerry King and Jeff Hanneman, the solos in Slayer tunes aren't like works of art like some of the other bands' guitar solos, but there's just something to be said about these solos that kind of match these songs brilliantly, in my opinion. So I would choose Slayer's Angel of Death to close out the mixtape of songs to get somebody into heavy metal that's never heard heavy metal before. So those are my, you know, 11 songs that just scream heavy metal, pure metal. So, you know, let me know what you think about that in the comments below. What albums would you include? Jump on George's video. I know you guys have already watched it, but jump on it again and tell him how much you love him, because he's an awesome dude. But yeah, get on this challenge. It's pretty cool. You know, I think, you know, just the way he described it, I took it as that, you know, like, you know, I'm walking down the street with my Creator shirt and some kid's like, hey man, I never heard heavy metal before. You know, what 10 songs would you recommend to get me into it? So that's what I did with this. So hope you dig the video, and I appreciate all you guys checking out my channel. I'll have another video very soon. Cheers, everybody.